no idea if this is live. I really hope it is. I'll be honest, I am trying to do far too many things at one time. Things have all changed last minute, and I am working through it. But thank you so much for joining me here on tonight's launch day. Oh, here he is. Hey, y'all, I'm Jennifer Carr, author of the Real American Country series, and tonight we are celebrating the launch of my fourth book in the series, Still Holding Out for You. We're going to talk series backstory, the inspiration behind book four, do a few giveaways, and hang out with my editor, who knows way too much about me and my books, and an ARC reader or two for behind the scenes chats. We'll also announce the winner of the all day long event. What's really exciting though is that the lovely man you see sitting next to me here is not my editor. He is indeed my husband. This is Rob Carr, Mr. Rob Carr. He is joining me while Ashley, my editor, is on her way home from coaching her oldest daughter's volleyball finals. They were in the playoffs, and they did not win. And I am so sorry to my sweet Lucy that she did not win. Her team did not win, but they are a fantastic team. First time for them to both coach and play volleyball, so good for them. Anyway, wherever you are watching from, let me know where you are watching from, whether or not you have read or plan to read Still Holding Out for You. I'm going to do a really quick intro in case you didn't get a chance to hang out in the all day event. I am a wife to this guy. I met him when I was 13 and he was 14. I eventually decided to bring him out of the friend zone after about 7 years. Lucky him. I'm a homeschooling mom, a lifelong reader. I love coffee. I love country music. I have a background in psychology, so I thought I would try marriage and family counseling. I taught AP psychology for a high school class, and I decided I'd rather deal with fictional people. And so now I write multiple genre romance. I have a No Spice contemporary series, which is Real American Country. I've written a Christian romantic suspense series that started with No Matter What. And I recently released a Closed Door Mafia series that is exclusively on Amazon. But tonight, we're here to talk about a book from my Real American Country series, Book 4, Still Holding Out for You. So, what you need to know is that Real American Country is a no spice contemporary romance series that centers on 12 contestants of a country music reality TV show. And each book tells the story of one or two of the contestants as they battle for the spotlight and the winner's circle. It was never meant to be a series, so you do find out who wins the entire competition in book one. Um, Also, my favorite things, well, one of my favorite things about the series as a whole is that you see different aspects of the competition and the tour that follows in each of the books. All right, so we have Sherry. Good evening. About to say good morning. What time? Today's been one of those days. We've hung out all day pretty much. And Kimberly, hey, in Ohio. Kimberly and Sherry are both on my ARC team, and I love them. They have been so much fun to hang out with today over on Facebook. I see them over in the comments, and then we have a couple that will be on stage with us later tonight. So you definitely want to come back or stay around, whatever works best for your schedule. So first, before I move into the series and about the series, Mr. Rob Carr, say hello to the people.
Hi. I also noticed that Levi is joining from Denmark at like 1 a.m.
I know, and I am just like I'm so thrilled because we only get to hang out at book launch time. We talk on Discord and stuff all the time because if I had favorites, but I don't have favorites. No. I'm just kidding. We have a great time when we get to chat and hang out. So yes, I'm very excited that Levi's going to join me on stage in a little while after Ashley comes and does her thing. So since you are here, my dear,
I'm
my
here.
love, my best friend, what was your first thought when I told you when I was writing No Matter What, and I just popped up and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to write a book." What was your first thought about that?
My first thought was that, well, this definitely seems like something that she can do. Um, I cannot say that I was surprised. Well, I was surprised, but not like I was surprised that you were writing a book, not that you were doing some creative venture, because creativity is just kind of part of who you are, right?
It's true.
So I guess my take was, Oh, that tracks.
That's fair. I am one of those that I am known for. If I have an idea, I'm going to give it a shot, and if I'm good at it, if it works, then I'll keep doing it. And if I'm terrible at it or I just don't find my rhythm, I'm just like, we're done here. Was there, and you
Good.
know this about me. You know this about me to be true. Was there a point at which you thought she's not going to keep doing this?
To be honest, I haven't reached that. So you're good at a lot of things, but not all things that you're good at really like provide a spark.
Yeah.
And so this was one thing in particular that just really seemed to light you up. And so my thought was, oh, this is something that if there's enough time and words, this is something that she could really go the distance on.
There have definitely been a lot of words. A lot of words. We were at an event a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you were at the tent when this little girl, I mean, she was probably what, 7 or 8 years old, and she came up and she said, her mom was standing there, and she's like, "Did you write all these?" And I said, "I did." And the little girl she picked up Fall When You're Ready, and she goes, "You wrote all these words?" And I said, "Oh, I wrote all these words." And I pointed to all the books that were up there. And she just kind of looked at me like, I didn't know a person could have so many words. And I said, I didn't know that either, to be honest. But it was fun. She was funny. Well, let me talk real quick about the books in Real American Country since I mentioned Fall When You're Ready. That is book one of the Fall When You're Ready series. And like, if you could put it into a sentence, it's, Rachel and Jordan's story, their childhood best friends, and it's a second chance romance. And then book two, you meet Nash and Cassidy in Fall When You're Ready, and they just kind of popped out and they were like, "Hey, we have a story," because you kind of see an allusion to them. I alluded to them in the end, at the close to the end of the book, probably about the 75% mark. You kind of see something popped up, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? Let's find out how they got to that one sentence that I had put in there." And they start out as anonymous online friends, and then they end up on the reality show, which leads to fame, which leads to pressures, and then there's love in there somewhere. And then book three, which is currently, because it's published, my favorite of the series as far as the series goes. It's Wyatt and Kenzie's story. Let Me Love You is a Marine. Well, he's a former Marine and a mob boss's daughter, and it's safety, redemption, love, all that good stuff. And then today we are celebrating Still Holding Out for You. It's Austin and Willow's story. They met on the reality show. Music, marriage, real life, all that stuff hits really hard. And we'll kind of talk more about any and all of that, especially book four later. But first, we need to announce the winner of the all day event giveaway. And this winner is going to receive all four books in the series as ebooks. And I collected all of the names and put them in my handy dandy spinneroo. And I'm going to push this button. Ooh, it plays music. I didn't know it played music. There
It's
we go.
me.
Doris Marie. All
Oh,
right,
that's not how you spell my
Doris.
name.
I'll send you the ebooks later, Rob.
Okay.
So Doris Marie, if you will, if you see this, great, fantastic. Send me an email or a message on my website and let me know what your email address is because I don't have that. I'll try to tag you in the comments in the event though. My email address is on the screen, author@jcarwrites.com, or you can hit my website, jcarwrites.com/contact-me and get in touch with me. So congratulations, Doris. And
Yeah,
if you did not
congrats.
win, yeah, and if you did not win to that particular giveaway, I've got three giveaways coming up in the live. But now I would say it's time to bring on my super special guest who quite literally makes all these books possible. But she is currently on her way home from volleyball. So, Rob Carr, let's hear your thoughts on the Real American Country series.
Hmm. Okay. Well, as you know, while I am your number one fan, I am also a little behind on reading your finished works.
It's true.
Uh, Many of you don't know me. Reading is not my strong suit, and that's a poor excuse, but it is the excuse that I offer. Um, so I've finished Fall When You're Ready in its entirety, and I really love that series or love that book and the way that it flowed. Um, and I'm still working on the others, but Jennifer has been kind enough to share with me some of the storyline along the way. And I really love how the characters exist in one another's spheres, but they're not necessarily um, the center of one contiguous universe, right? There's a central theme that connects them all, but they each have their own story, and that's something that I think is sort of special with this series because uh, you each time you decided there's another book, it was because you found that there was another story for another character or another couple that you felt like that you had and that you wanted to tell. So that's one of the things that I just think is really neat about the Real American Country series.
When I set out to like Fall When You're Ready was supposed to be a solo. Like he was just supposed to be a book in and of itself, and it was not going to be a series. Again, I said that earlier because that's why you find out who wins the competition at the end, because I was not going to do anything with it. But yeah, like as you will find as I write more books and as I talk about my books, you will find that I love my side characters probably as much as I love some of my main characters. And it's so funny because it's like, why don't you just make them main characters? But we all have side characters in our lives, right? Like we can't, not everybody can be a main character in our story. You know, we are the main character in our stories, and we have all these side characters. And so it's really hard for me to be like, okay, I can't write everybody's story because not everybody has a full on story. They just have that part to play. But it's just like when I wrote Fall When You're Ready, I kind of put Ethan and Sienna in there. That's Rachel's friends from college, and like they have their own little like mini story in the book. But that one didn't really have as many side characters except for the competitors. And Nash and Cassidy, like I said, I kind of pulled them out of there. And why I picked Wyatt and Kinsey because they are just barely on the page in the second book. But I did. I was like, for some reason, Wyatt's name just stuck in my head. And then for this book, Austin and Willow were just like, hey, there was a little bit of like looking across the room at each other. Maybe there was something in book 2 and 3. And so anyway, I was just like, where can I go with this? But yeah, my side characters sometimes just take on main character roles and then they have to get a whole nother book. And that's what happens. It is what it is. I'm not really sure where to go from here because I do have several things. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to skip ahead from Ashley's introduction, and I'm going to tell you about the Two Truths and a Lie. That was in the all day Facebook event. I did Two Truths and a Lie, and let's see, there were three statements. And one of them Ashley had actually given me because I was like, it's so hard to think of these things. So there were two truths, one lie. And so the statements were one, Montana is my favorite place to visit, which is why I wanted one of my characters to be from there. Two, my dad's greatest disappointment with me is related to the first book in my first series, which would be No Matter What. My kid and I, this is number three, my kid and I spoiled the major plot point of the book for my husband just by discussing it in the car, not realizing he didn't already know it. So, if you're on the live, if you're watching, and all of you have already guessed which ones you think it is, so I don't have to tell you, like the ones that I can see that are watching. So the actual lie is number one because I've never actually been to Montana. It's been on my bucket list for years. I actually get emails from the town of Kalispell, Montana, still from their tourism board because there were a few Hallmark movies that were filmed there. And so I've been planning a trip there in my head for years. And so the truths are, my dad, his greatest disappointment with me is related to the first book in my first series. Now, I need you all to know, my dad is very proud of me. He is disappointed because of something that very traumatic that happens to one of the characters in the book. And he brings it up every chance he gets and asks me when I'm going to rewrite the book that's been out for what, 3 years now? So yeah, he's his greatest disappointment. And if that's the worst that he feels about me, then that's fantastic. But yeah, his greatest disappointment is that something bad happened to one of my characters. Oh, and then the other truth is that Hayes and I did spoil a major plot point of the story. We were just riding down the road, and I said something about, well, this happens in the book, and you probably were to the point where you're like, I'm going to pull this car over right now, because I cannot believe that just happened. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know we didn't say it out loud to you yet. So anyway, that was pretty funny. Um, well, Rob Carr, I don't want to kick you out, and you are welcome to stay. But I also see that our lovely guest Ashley has arrived, and so it may be time for her to pop on. So, any last words before I bring her on?
Yeah, so I noticed in the live chat that Levi had asked, what's Rob's favorite part of fall when you're ready? I didn't know if you wanted me to give a go on that before I hopped off.
Yes, absolutely. So, okay, so the
But
private
Ashley's
chat.
welcome to join.
Oh, let me add Ashley. This is Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
So the private chat, I will just say that the private chat, only the people on stage can see that. So if you want your comment to be public, make sure it's in the comments. Otherwise, we'll have to go back and forth. But yes, tell us what your favorite part of fall when you're ready is, Rob Carr.
So I think my favorite part of fall when you're ready is the swear book.
Ah, yes, the
Oh,
swear book.
I do love the swear book.
Yes,
Yeah,
where
I
they write in all of their promises to one another. Yeah.
yeah, I think that it's a really unique way for two friends uh, to demonstrate their connection to one another in a way that's, it's really innocent, right? But it's powerful.
I agree. And do you remember what the very first swear is that they wrote in it? Do you remember?
No, I
Uh,
will not share crayons with anyone but you. I don't know.
no, Jordan wants to play with Rachel every day. And she said, I think you have to be married to do that. And he said, okay, then I'm going to marry you. And she says, okay, you have to swear it. And so he writes in the swear book, the very first swear is, I swear I'm going to marry Rachel one day. And so that's where it was in the book. So it had to happen.
Maybe that's why I like it. Uh, so
Yeah.
there's a piece of our story where the week that we met, I went home. We weren't from the same place. I went home, and on the ride home, I told my mom. I said, I'm not. I don't really want to date her, but I definitely do want to marry her. So like I can get along with Jordan there. So
Yeah, and at that point you were like 14 and Jordan was like 6. So
I mean, 14, 6. What's the difference when you're talking
for a
about boys?
boy, honestly, no.
It worked out
Just
both
kidding.
ways.
It really did.
For
It
sure.
really did.
Well,
All
thanks
right,
for
well,
letting
thank
me
you.
fill in for a little while. This was fun.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for
Love you.
filling in for me, Brosa.
You're welcome. You notice that my hashtag is not Ashley.
It
That is
said
true. You are
husband
hashtag
earlier.
not Ashley.
Oh, it has changed multiple times. You just haven't noticed. You can go back and look at it.
That's funny.
You can replay it later and see what all it says.
That is fantastic. All right, well, I will talk to you later, sweetheart.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. And ladies
Bye.
and gentlemen, we now have my super special guest who quite literally makes these books possible. Because without her, they would just kind of suck. It's my editor, Ashley, and I wish I had sound effects. Yay! Applause, cheers. I've known her for
Yay.
like, what, 40
Betty?
years? We've shared
None of that.
yeah, 40 years. We've shared bedrooms, taken countless trips together. She's my very, very best friend after my husband, of course, and she knows way too much about me because she's not just my editor, she is my sister. So thank you. I know that today was one of those crazy days, but thanks for making time to hang out.
Yes, my kids are playing video games in Cece's right now to celebrate volleyball playoffs. So they're supervised. It's fine.
I mean, as long as they're supervised. And honestly, if you can see them through the glass,
Yeah,
it's fine.
they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. Um, So we are going to, let's see. I had to scroll through. I had this like outline of the schedule, and I was like, you know what, we're going to skip ahead. We did the Two Truths and a Lie. We talked about that. We've given away some ebooks from the all day event. We are going to dive into talking about the books, but first, I want to give away a Real American Country hoodie. All right. And this needs to be in the public comments if you are, and it's also, you can win the hoodie if you are in the United States. I can't ship the hoodie across the world. Sorry, my international friends. But if you are international and you win, I will find a digital. You can still win the ebooks. How's that? I'll send you all of the ebooks. So we're going to give away a Real American Country hoodie, and it's you have to finish the lyric in the comments. Okay. So if you know the song Still Holding Out for You, it was the inspiration for Austin Willow's story. It was on Shadazy's 1999 album, The Whole Shebang. So finish these lyrics, all right? It says, I still run. I still swing open the door. I still think you'll be there like before. Doesn't anybody out there know to never come around? Some things a heart won't listen to. Fill in the blank. You have to fill in the
I would
blank.
be
And
so
so
bad at this game.
you are not a country music aficionado. You
I
are
am
not.
not. I am not.
And that's
Oh.
okay. I'll give you a hint. It's a lot more obvious than you probably like. You're probably making it way harder than it needs to be because remember, this is the song that inspired their story. So, yeah. Anyway, if I see that in the comments anywhere, you will be the one that gets the hoodie, and we'll go
So
from there.
we're gonna
So
see who the country music fans are, or who has the fastest Google fingers.
that's exactly right. Exactly. So if you know the song Still Holding Out for You, you just need the last line of the chorus. We'll put it that way. Okay, so we've had similar conversations a few times about the books because you've been here from the get go.
Hmm.
For those who have not gotten to hang out with us before, I will tell our quick little backstory. I came to you after, and listen, y'all, I went deep diving on our text messages trying to find like all of the messages where this all started. But after my very first book, No Matter What, I had a different editor for that one. And I she was a lovely person. There were so many errors that I still had to fix, even 3 years later, that I didn't know were there. So anyway, that's a whole other ballgame. But I came to you because I needed to work with someone who that I could actually work with, but somebody who was
Hmm.
going to help make my stories better by saying, "Hey, this kind of sucks," or I'm not really sure why you named both characters Dan. I needed some. Yes, that has happened.
It was a
You know,
choice.
it was not a great choice, but I did it anyway and I fixed it. But and that's in a different story. But I also needed someone who knew how many commas were too many commas, right? And so
Mhm.
like the only person
All
that
the
came
commas
to
are too many
mind,
commas.
the ones that I use they are. But do you remember your first thought? Like I know exactly what you said because I have printed out the text message where I
Nice.
asked you to be my editor. But what was your first thought when I said, "Hey, will you be my editor?"
She is not gonna listen to a word I say. I can give her all of my thoughts on it, and she's gonna do whatever she wants, no matter what, anyway, because she is a firstborn.
Okay. So, I was like, it's, I said to you, it's 6 months of me being a pain in your butt on top of being your sister. And so you asked me, can we handle me being critical of developmental stuff? And I said, oh, I'm learning. Also, I've improved. Um, you won't, not that you won't find faults because you absolutely will. I'll try to keep them from being major. And you said, yay, I think it would be fun. And so
Yep.
what you thought and what you said were slightly different things, but I get it.
Yeah.
No, like that's
Well, after 5 books now, I can say these things and know that you can actually joke about it and take the criticism. But I really worried. I was like, this is not gonna last. I said, I'll do this one, and she's probably gonna be like, I can't handle my little sister telling me what she thinks is wrong with my art. And I really John and I had this conversation. My husband and I had this conversation, and I was like, he was like, I don't know if she can handle it. And so I'm so glad that you did, because I love it and I want to keep doing it. But the fear was real there. The fear was real.
It's valid. And I tell you, like, because when you write something, it's so personal because it's coming from a place like it's literally inside your mind, your imagination. You have to put parts of yourself into the story so that, and human nature and like understanding people. And, so at first it felt really weird because I didn't even really want Rob to read my stuff. But then I was like, this is the woman who can finish my sentences, or we tell the same joke at the same time, or we text each other the same meme like a second apart, so
Hmm.
I wasn't terribly concerned about it because I was fairly certain that um that we had gotten to that point. Now, had it been 10
Hmm.
years ago, that might have been a different story.
It's
But I
true.
also wasn't a
It's
writer
true.
10 years ago, so
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think the difference too is that I didn't come in and say, I hate it. Everybody's got to go. Because one, you're an excellent writer, but also two, I can see where you were going with it. I think there's something about that. I mean, we're not twins, but we might as well be. That like
we may as
sister
well,
link
yeah.
where I can go, I know where she was going with this. And we can get there.
Yeah, in that first book, like neither, like in the Lost and Found, neither of us really knew what we were doing because we were both still
Yeah.
new at it, but we worked really well together. And so,
Yes.
um, I could not remember. Now that was the Lost and Found, which was book 2 of No Matter What, and I can't remember exactly when. And I scrolled way back to find these text messages, but I couldn't find the exact date when I said, "Hey, I'm working on a new book." Which actually, do you remember that it had a different name before it was fall when you're ready?
It did. And actually thought about that, and I cannot remember what the original name was. And I did not go back and look because I think I still have a Google Doc that has the original title on it, but I did not go back and find it because I couldn't remember what the name was to search it.
Yeah, it's an open book. It was an open book. Like an open book was the name of the
Yeah,
story, because she was an author, right? Because Rachel's an author,
yeah,
and I know that I found a note in my notes app from February 2023. So that's about the time I said I'm writing a
yeah.
contemporary romance book, and we started working on that. And so, um, then like 7 months later, I texted you and was like, "Okay, what if Fall When You're Ready is book 1, and then it turns into a series?" So I had
Hmm.
no intention of writing a series, but here we are. I've written 6. You're working on book 5. Did you actually think that I would be able to stretch it into as many books as I have?
I did because you had so many characters, and I thought
Yeah.
because we have the conversation about side characters and when to introduce them and how much to introduce them, and I remember thinking, oh, there are a lot of people here. If this could go on long. Now, did I think that you were going to get bored with the series? Yes, it surprised me how connected you got to these particular characters, especially because they didn't have backstory yet. So I thought she's gonna do a few of these, but we're not gonna do like every contestant. Like we're not going that deep. I thought for sure you would, because I've seen your offshoots and all of your other starts. And so yeah, I thought for sure we would be pivoting to some other genre even.
I tell you what, yeah, no, I was like, um, I was like brainstorming for the future, and at this point, I had only gotten through book 3 in my brainstorms. I had not made it all the way through, even book 4. And you were like, "I like that idea." Look, I have the text message here too. You were like, "I like
I
that
know I
idea,"
saw you sent that one to me the other day.
and you were like,
That's
"I don't
funny.
think we need to see everyone, but I like the idea." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Excellent, it's going in the queue." And then I was like, because I was working on, I guess that we were still working on the Lost and Found, and I was like, "Let's go! Where it's time to move. I
Yeah.
was ready to move on to the series." And so we made it through book 3, and now we're in book 4.
Hmm.
And so let's talk about it because this one was, and it's really hard to talk about without giving too much away, because of the
It is.
emotional toll that it took to write and
Yes.
edit it. But
Yes.
and I've made it clear in all of my content warnings that it's very heavy. What were your first thoughts when I told you the direction this book was taking?
I don't. I knew you said that was the way you were going, but I think I was in denial maybe a little bit. It was like she's not gonna do that. This is not that kind of series. She's not gonna do that. But you did.
I did. And I told you probably more than once that I was terrified to even publish the book because of the
Yes.
direction that things ended up going. And like I knew from the beginning how it was going to end. Like I knew what was going to happen. Um
Listen,
Yes,
as
and she
upset as our
sings.
father was with that one character in your other series, I thought, well, she's not gonna do it again, but she did.
Well, unfortunately, he hasn't made it this far in the series. So, and he also knows what's going to happen because I think I've said it
Yeah.
around him before because I know he's not
Hmm.
probably, this is not his genre. He
No,
read the
no.
first one and he was like, um, it's just not his thing. But he really liked the suspense and hated me after that. Not really, but was very disappointed in me after that first one.
So funny.
Yeah, so the day after I was driving home from church when this song came on the it's a song I'd heard a zillion times because I mean it came out in 99 and so I was listening to country music way back then. And so I knew this song and I'd never really listened to it and heard it like this. And so their song came on the radio. This song came on the radio and immediately like they popped into my head. Why these two? I don't know. Like I,
So
I know there
funny.
was some like glances across the room and like mild chemistry going on, but it wasn't
Hmm.
like they were just all of a sudden in love on the pages of the other books. And so, why they came into my head, I'm just divine inspiration. I don't know. But I told Robin, I took a screenshot of the message that I had sent him. I was like, look, I'm ugly crying with like a pickaxe to my heart and it's crushing me. Knowing that I've written these chapters of this book, like chapter, I was like 50, 51, and 52, I think is where those chapters ended up in the book that I wrote first. And so, anyway, it's been a relief to know that after the responses that I've had, people are like, it's very sad, but also it works. And I was just like,
It's so good. It's so good.
yeah, it's so okay. Speaking of a story that works, I'm going to do another giveaway. I haven't had anybody comment on the finishing the lyrics yet, so we'll try to do another giveaway. What is your favorite kind of grand gesture that you have or would like to see in a book? What's yours, Ashley? A grand gesture that you have seen or would like to see in a book?
I like the less public grand gestures. I like the grand gestures that happen with like a select few people or um that is it's not a spectacle, but it's still a grand gesture. I think of the Kelsey Humphreys books, and like every single one of them ends with a grand gesture. You know, the things I forgot about, the things I wrote about that series,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
those grand gestures are almost never massively public.
Yeah.
They're like in a small setting, and so they mean as much because the grand gesturer, which is not always the male main character, um, knows that they don't necessarily want to be spectacled. They just want to be
Yes.
shown that they're important.
Yes, like know your audience. So, put
Hmm.
your grand gesture of choice in the comments. Mine is something like make a mixtape for me, right? What songs make you think
Yeah.
of me? And I kind of did this with Rachel and Jordan. Like he would buy a CD and be like, a song on the
Hmm.
CD made me think of you. And at first he would tell her, but then she was like, no, let me guess. And so, they had that connection. But like, give me a good old mixtape where something, I know
Yeah.
that you sat down and thought of me and did something. Also, don't make a grand spectacle of me because it will not be a grand gesture. It will be probably an ending gesture for me. Like, forget it.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, no, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, well, time has kind of flown by. We're already at the
It
6:30
has.
point, and before we bring my other friends on stage, what are some of the thoughts that you had, like during the writing and editing process of Still Holding Out for You, or what other thoughts did you have just in general? Any?
Specifically, I'm still holding out for you.
Yeah,
Um, or Shofi. Uh,
yeah, Shofi, as we lovingly refer to it.
Shofi. Um, I knew from the beginning that you were going for tug the heartstrings, but I never. Sometimes you feel it coming. Sometimes you feel the moment coming, but I feel like you did such a good job as I walked through it of still letting us feel the joy and the fun, and it wasn't like looming over, even though I mean now everybody knows something, sad is coming, but um but it wasn't a looming presence over the rest of their story. And I thought that that was really well done. There wasn't really a ton of foreshadowing. You didn't really see it coming until it came. And even in those ending chapters, there wasn't a lack of joy. There wasn't a lack of peacefulness. So even in the sadness, there was some. I think it was still very uplifting. And I don't know
Yeah.
how you wove that magic exactly, but I do remember thinking, I don't feel like the other foot's about to drop. And I think that was really well executed in that. Um, I think it was neat also to get some side glimpses of some of our previous characters, got a little more dialogue from Nash and Cassidy. I thought that was cool. Getting Christopher Jordan kind of plugged in there a little bit, kind of catching just some more side views of those characters that we already know. I thought that were very well sprinkled in, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, no, I think I remember telling you we were talking about because there's a scene where you do see a lot of the contestants come back together, and I was like, I want to write a happy reunion story. Like I want them to all get back
Yes.
together and be happy together and hanging out together because you do see glimpses of life has moved forward, right? Like
Yeah.
it spans what a decade, I think. The whole book itself is
Yeah.
like a 10-year
Yeah.
process, and so you
Mhm.
see what's happened in 10
Yeah,
years and
and
where they
some
are.
characters have been pregnant for that entire 10 years.
I fixed that. Oh, that was so funny because
It
was
was
it
really
was
funny.
it Willow? Was it Willow or was it no,
No,
it
it
was
was
in Let Me Love You. It was Missy.
in Let Me Love You. Yeah, it was in Let Me Love You.
One of my
I was
characters was
like, man,
pregnant
she's
at
been
2
pregnant
years
for a really long
and
time.
18 months. It was like, "Oh, sorry, Missy." I had to fix that
Yeah.
timeline. I am very like anal retentive on my timelines. Like I've got to my timelines have to line up because I know that readers will catch that. They will pick up on that.
Yes.
And so I'm very like we're going to make sure that our timelines line up. And Ashley caught
Yeah.
that when she's like, "How long has she been pregnant?" I was like, "Sorry."
Yeah.
So funny.
I'm glad I called it though, because that would have been super embarrassing to be like, oh, this is a major plot hole. Uh, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, look, we have a comment. Grand gesture would be the love interest being there, but not coming out right away. Like just kind of in the background, just being back
Oh,
there.
the big
I
reveal.
like it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, Kimberly, looks like you're going to be the winner of what did we say that was? We're giving away the
Is that
signed
the
copy
hoodie
of the
or is that
book.
the book?
It was a signed copy of the book, is what it said. But that being said, since you already have a signed copy of the book, we'll talk about it. If you want the hoodie, we can make that happen. Because I can't remember if you have one. You might. Anyway, all right. Speaking of my ARC readers, I am going to add. Well, we have one. Hi, friend. You are muted. So if you want to unmute yourself, oh, look, Karen, you're just in time. If you want to join, then you can jump on. Or if you're just going to stay in the comments, that's fine too.
Hi.
Hi, I'm so glad to see you. Um, let's see. Karen says, hi,
Yeah.
sorry I'm late. Kimberly says, yes, big reveal. All right, so please introduce yourself to all of our many viewers and tell us how long you've been on the ARC team.
So my name is Levi, and I am. It's the third book. I was beta reading for the second one, and then I've been art reading for the third and the fourth. But it is, if I am a bit tired, it is because it's 20 minutes to 2.
You
Oh
are
boy.
just
I forgot you're,
hilarious.
yes, you are an international friend. Yes.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Oh,
Yeah, I am. I'm joining from Denmark, so in Europe. Woo, tired.
Well, I won't keep you long, but I would love to hear your like I've read your review and it was the sweetest review. But I would love to just hear your thoughts, just like share your thoughts about this book, especially compared to the others that you've read, because it is different.
It is very different. I also have read the first one, which is I quite like the first one. Not my favorite. The third one is definitely my favorite, but I
Mine
also
too.
got through the fourth book the quickest. So I don't know if that says something, but
She was like, I can't read this anymore. Done with it.
like I need to get done with this book now.
Yes.
I really liked the book, but it was also very emotional, and I think when did I remember writing to you at like maybe like a bit to midnight that I had read the first 2 chapters and I really enjoyed the book, and then I started reading the rest of the book in the morning, and then I finished the book by 5 p.m. that evening. So
You had nothing else going
Oh
on
wow.
that day.
Wow.
no, that was I sat down and I read with a few breaks in between.
Oh, you were running out of Kleenex. Probably needed more tissues to cry
Yeah,
on.
right. Seriously.
Oh, look, we've added some more friends. This is my friend Jane. She's also an international friend. She's in the UK, and she's up late as well. She and her husband have had COVID the last couple of weeks.
Oh,
It's
Oh
so
no.
miserable. Yeah. So,
oh, still suffering.
oh, she's still in a rough position. But you know what? It does not stop her from reading and reviewing her books. That lady is a machine. I love it. And then we have Karen over here, Miss Karen Light. She has been on the ARC team. How many books have you done, Karen?
I've done all of them. I
Okay.
started a year and a half ago with the first book. I think it had just recently had come out, and you sent it to me from a Facebook group.
Yes.
And of course I
Okay,
was
so it was
hooked.
probably, you weren't like an official ARC team member, but you were an ARC reader, and then you were like, oh, we're doing the rest of this.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I love it. And then Karen has just kind of, she and I have kind of just hung out online because she lives in another state, and so we can't hang out in person. But through all of that, I'm going to, this is kind of a fun little secret, but not really secret. But her husband is the screenwriter for Fall When You're Ready. So he is working on the screenplay and adapting that. So, so Karen and I are like, we're tight. So
Yes.
that's kind of cool. Let's see. Oh,
I'm
Cher
on
says
the
this
video.
book
You
is one
can't
of
come
my
over here.
favorite. Yeah. And the third is still my favorite. Now, I will tell you, the third, when they're all out, I was reading the comments, the third book is Let Me Love You. It will not be my overall series favorite because book 6 is my overall series favorite. But you don't know that. It can't be yours yet because you don't know why. But yeah. um, so, okay. Jane, how did you feel about this book? Because it was different from the others.
Loved it. Loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
How many
Oh,
boxes of tissues did you go through as you cried your eyes out?
I don't do tissues. I just let it flow.
Oh, she's just a puddle.
That's it. That's what sleeves are for. And yeah,
That's fair.
it's cold in the UK. I have sleeves.
Just take care of it. Fantastic.
That's really funny.
What about you, Karen? What? Because again, it's a different kind of book, but and you're not a book
This
crier.
is
Ooh,
acting really weird. It's being
I hear that.
I know, I'm getting something weird too.
Okay, did that fix it? Nope.
It's not like
Cold in
video.
the machine.
That is so bizarre. Okay.
Okay. I'm still here. But I'm gonna mute for just a minute because I think if that helps. Okay.
Mm.
I do that.
Yeah, the audio is weird for us too, Levi. Oh, did that fix it?
I think that fixed it.
Maybe. Okay.
I hope so.
Okay. So sorry about that. That was
That's
very,
okay.
Sorry about that.
that's
Don't
all
know
right.
what happened there.
I think we're all back on the level here. Okay. So Karen she is a self-proclaimed I don't cry at books. But then she texted me that I might have teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
I did shed a few tears. I was not bawling. Now, I will say if Matt reads it, he'll probably be bawling because he's the crier. Don't tell him I told you.
I won't tell. So funny. Y'all, I have cried maybe 2 or 3 times of all the books that I've ever read, maybe. But I cried reading this one, and I've read it over a dozen times, and I've cried every single time. And I was just like, man, that's hurtful. Hurt my own feelings. Oh. Sherry says it's her new favorite. Her favorite. Listen, I love it, but it's so different. It's hard for me to say that it's my favorite because it's so different. It doesn't fit with the rest of them. Is that bad?
I really still think that Fall When You're Ready is my favorite.
Yeah, I love that one. I forgot how much I loved it. Started reading it again recently, and I was just like, I forgot how much I just loved these characters. Because I'm so far separated from them. In my mind, I've lived 100 different lives with 50 different characters, and so it's like, oh yeah, I forget. So maybe I should make that a goal to go back and read all of my books at some point. I don't know, maybe. Okay, so I know that I've said this already. I love my side characters. Like, I love all of my side characters.
I
Some
love
of them I
side
love,
characters.
right? Like, they make the story. Did you have a favorite side character in this book?
Ooh.
I'm trying to think.
Levi, the question is, did you have a favorite side character in this book? Was there a side character that you're like, they need a story?
I think I suggested it to you, but my COVID brain is not working.
Yeah, that COVID brain is nothing to play with. Like, that brain fog lasts for a hot minute. So my favorite side character in this story is Connor, which is Austin's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say that's probably my favorite. I'm trying to think of the other person, and I can't think of who it was. Oh,
it's a trick question. I love all of them. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, right?
They're all adorable.
Hey, Kimberly.
Hello, I decided to join.
Good. You can jump in on this conversation too. We're talking favorite
Hi.
side characters.
I don't know because I was so wrapped up with Willa. Or
I just reread it as well.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean.
I do. I mean, well, yeah, that kind of overtook. Actually, the question is side character. Did you have a favorite side character? Ooh,
Yes. Hang on. Can you hear me? I'm having some audio issues.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great, awesome. I am so glad you can hear me because I can't tell. I'm sitting in my car and I can't tell if it's coming through my car or through my headphones now. And it just switched. So anyway,
Awesome.
yes, I am actually okay. Jennifer and I are not always in agreement on a lot of things, but I am strongly in agreement with her opinion about Connor. I just kind of adore him.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, you're in luck because he will have his own book in a different series. Yep.
Yes. And maybe that's partially why I like him so much is because I know it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about his his aura. He's got this nice. He's got a vibe. Connor is a vibe.
He is a vibe. Yeah. I'm also really excited about book 5 because Harper has always been one of my favorite contestants on the show, and so she gets her own story. So I'm excited about that in the next book.
Oh, I do like
Yeah.
her.
I'm excited.
I don't really like.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fun. She's kind of a little
she's such a cut up, and she's like,
yeah,
and she's relatable. She's very relatable.
Yes.
Yes. She and her story, it's kind of it's different too, I guess, because it's got its own. It's more of a suspense ish.
It's more of a what?
Ooh.
It's like a suspense, a romantic suspense of sorts.
Mm.
That'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting.
Okay, let's see. Well, Kimberly, you haven't said a whole lot tonight. Was there a part of this book of Still Holding Out for You that just like you read it and you were like, wow.
Um, I think what got me the most was the way he um I don't know what word I want to use, kind of like he doted over her, knowing how sick she was and how it was going to happen. He never lost faith. I think is what I like. Of course, the tears, they never stopped through that whole time frame. But
Yeah.
I think it hit so hard in so many different ways. You know what I mean?
All right, thank you, Doctor. Do because it took on this roller coaster. Like you were up and you were down and you were up and you were like way down.
Yeah. I don't know. I absolutely love the fact that the way he was with her.
Yeah. When he finally got his act together and he could admit how he felt, and then after that it was like, and we're permanent. There's nothing else ever.
Yeah, nothing was. Yeah, and then when with her being sick, when that happened and her, being in that bed and couldn't go nowhere, and, it was like he was there every step of the way, every moment.
Yeah, I do love a man who is committed, because it was he had the option, right? Like his studio was like, well, you could go solo, and he's like, I'm not doing this without her. Like if she is sick, then I am with her. And so yeah, that is where I love that too. He's definitely, because with Austen, and like I could go off on just tangents about the characters, even though like they're real people, but Austen was like this little golden retriever puppy at the beginning, and you think he's like this irresponsible guy who like can't really commit to anything, but then he was like, oh, he got laser focused really fast on what was important. And so yeah. Also, FYI, all of you are muted when you're not talking, just to cut down on the echoing, because I couldn't figure out where the echo was coming from. So if you want to say anything, just unmute yourself and say something. Sorry, it's not personal. Yeah, I wasn't kicking anybody out, just letting you know that there's background noise and I couldn't find it. What else do y'all want to talk about as far as the books or the characters? Like, what do you want to say about it that you think readers need to know?
The layers of not just the way that you write the characters, the layers, so multi-layered and across the whole of them.
Yeah.
Side characters, main characters, even little bitty parts. You've encapsulated it so well.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank you. Yeah. Listen, characters are important
add
to me.
to that.
They are. Oh, it's just one, even just one word.
Yeah.
And you capture it so well.
Thank you.
But to add to that, it feels real. It's not like a story when you're reading that it's just like, okay, this is a story. Like you're in it and it just feels real.
Oh,
like that.
That's what I was going to say. You're in it.
He's a real Nari, I don't cry.
And once you start it, you can't. It just. I mean, I don't know how others are, but I know with me, once I started it, I did not want to put it down. Like I wanted to continue. I wanted to finish it because I wanted to know what happened.
Absolutely. I'm a slow reader, and I think that took me only 3 days, and I normally take 2 weeks.
Yeah, that one did not take me long at all.
That's funny. I
Same
lost
with
And
me.
I
my
beta,
I finished too
yeah,
quickly.
Levi.
yeah, I
Finished
beta
way
read
too
it, and
quickly.
I don't need
and
sleep.
then Ark read it, and I was like, oh, I can't. The tears, I can't.
Yeah, some of you are gluttons and read it twice. That's crazy.
Yeah, just had to be done.
I think I put the book
No.
down twice, and then I just sat through it in one go.
Who needs food? Who needs sleep? It's all overrated anyway.
Exactly.
Just
Just
books.
finish the book.
I have a husband
I mean,
wait,
they're okay too.
waiting
They
on
can
me.
fend for themselves.
He looks after me.
That is, I mean, that's sweet too. You know, it's good of him to let you sit there and read for so long, because mine would be like, "Are we eating dinner?" And I'll be like, "Well, you know where the kitchen is." I'm just kidding.
My
No.
schedule's getting switched, so I'll have an extra day off during the week just to read your books.
Oh, see, I like that. I love that. We're just all gonna read together.
I look up and I've got a drink and I've got something to eat.
Yeah, your drinks look deadly, Jane. I'm just gonna tell you. Every time I see a picture of one, I think I'm going into a diabetic coma just looking at it, to be honest. Like, and then I'm going, I wonder if I can make that sugar free. And it always looks so good.
So
I don't know if you've seen her mochas that she has posted before that her husband makes her, but they put Starbucks to shame. There is nothing about
I
them.
haven't seen the pictures, but you have told me about them, and I figure if you're telling me about them, they've got to be pretty legendary.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely look like a shock to the system, and at the same time, a beautiful act of love.
always three
That's
hearts.
fantastic.
Always three hearts.
Oh. Okay. Well, we are creeping up on an hour because time flies when I get to hang out with all of you. And we're not, necessarily, we don't have to stop at an hour, but I know that also life happens. And some of you would probably like to go to bed because if I'm not mistaken, you probably have class of some sort tomorrow. Levi.
Actually, I don't have class. I have work at 7 in 5 hours.
Please go to
Oh,
bed.
mine's not that bad. I have to work at 6, but it's only 8 my time, so.
Yeah, you've got a little extra time.
It's
Well,
2
I
a.m.
am so
here.
glad. You are not going to hurt my feelings if you sign off and say goodnight.
I can sleep over.
I can sleep tomorrow. It's fine. I'll sleep when I'm dead. It's fine.
What is
That's
sleep?
it.
What is sleep? Who needs that? I don't know her.
Listen. Oh my gosh, one of the posts today in the Facebook event was about, are you a midnight reader? And I'm like, I used to be. I could stay up till 2 a.m. and pound out a book, but no, like now 11 o'clock and my eyes start crossing and I'm going, I don't like this world.
I don't know if you can see my.
No, you are a dark screen, Jane.
Oh, can you not see this?
I'm still a midnight reader. That's like,
I'm too big.
that's when the grandbabies are in bed and everybody's in bed. It's like, okay, my time. And then I wake up in the morning with my Kindle or, my book on my chest. So,
Yeah, I wish I could. And it was only just a few months ago when I realized that I'm like an old lady now because I can't 11 o'clock and I'm just going, nope. Mm-mm.
You want me to do everybody there?
Yeah. Let's see. I think I have a picture of. I'll see if I can show a picture of Jane's fancy drinks. She has sent me a picture several times of them, and I've just.
I sent one a couple of days ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you did too. And I was just like, man, alive. That lady, she's a lucky lady. All right, what else? What else about the book? I don't want to get us too far off topic because we did invite you here to talk about the book if you wanted to.
I really love the family connection we see in this one. We've gotten some glimpses of families in the other books, but this is such a deep familial connection, and they really are involved and supportive. And sometimes I think that we live in a world where it doesn't feel like families like that exist anymore. And
Yeah.
so it's just really nice to see that beautiful support from both sides and willing to pitch in, do whatever it takes, support through all of it.
Well, yeah, and could you imagine, like, and I know it happens, and God has blessed our family. We have not had to experience something quite as trauma. I mean, we have had trauma in our family, right? But there wasn't the same kind of trauma that happened in our family, and so and we all pulled together at that point too. But I can't imagine that there are that many families that pull together quite like the Blakes and the Graysons did. Oh, here it is.
I
I
love
don't know if
the.
I can.
Oh, man. Dang, that's yummy looking.
Yeah, send that to all of us.
That's beautiful. It's so pretty. How do you drink it?
Right?
Yeah. And it stays. It stays as well as I'm drinking. It stays.
Oh, I'm sorry, Levi. What were you saying?
What was I saying something?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I cut you off when I showed the picture. I'm sorry if I cut somebody
No.
off. Who did I cut off?
I think
Not me.
we all kind of stopped at that point just to stare at the picture,
We all went into a sugar coma. I told you, like,
right?
like drooling over it.
I was just looking which one it was.
It was the one you posted it in the comments on today's event is where
Yeah,
it was. And so
I did. Yeah, but
mercy. She's probably got like a whole photo album.
not the worst one with all the toppings.
There have been bigger ones. There have been bigger
Yeah.
ones,
Oh, wow.
Mhm. I've got
Okay.
giant chocolate stars and rainbow chocolate candy things, all sorts on it. It went a bit crazy.
Oh, look, Jen Miller just said, just got home from the grocery store. Better late than not at all. We're so glad you're here. We're just having a random powwow at the moment, admiring Jane's mocha drinks and talking about the book, just kind of what we loved about it. I'm going to go back and talk about Connor again, because I don't know that this book flat out tells you, but Connor has Asperger's, and I based him on one of Rob's cousin's children who also has Asperger's. And the first time I sat down and had a conversation with him, he was like 6 months from enlisting in the Marines, and he is currently enlisted in the Marines. And when I tell you the fact that this kid can carry on conversations and enlist in the Marines and function in the world, based on his childhood, I was just like, and you're now a main character in one of my books. And so like his story is going to be it's going to make you angry and it's going to make you happy, but it's also not for many books from now. So there you go. Sorry.
When you say many books from now, when exactly is that?
So this is book 4.
7 books from now, or?
Well, okay, so this is book 4 we're talking about, and then there's 5 and 6, and then there's book 1, so he'll be book 2. So it's in like 5 books. 4 or 5 books from now.
Pretty
But
accurate.
don't let her fool you. Don't let her fool you. She is like a get started writing and crank these bad boys out so fast. I'm honestly the slowpoke in all of this. She's cranking out stories like there's no tomorrow.
So I will say, and this is a confession I haven't made anywhere else yet. After Real American Country, the 6th book comes out next fall, right? So this is fall, so spring will be book 5, fall will be book 6. The next one will come out in the spring, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in every 6 months, because that is like, it's hard. It is hard. Not those books are already written. It's hard to do the marketing and the pushing and the like. So it's probably going to be like, yeah, it's going to be like 9 months in between, probably closer to that. So, because yikes, I didn't know what I had signed up for when I told myself I was going to do this. So anyway, there's my confession. Sorry, y'all all just got quiet. Like, I can't believe she just said that.
I'm breathing. I'm loving this. I'm like, yeah, no, let's do 9 months. Yeah, let's do 9 months.
Yeah, because I mean, how long does it take us to like edit? You're shoving all of that editing. We're talking developmental edits, which is like you're reading through in the storyline, and then copy line edits, which is word for word editing. And we're shoving all of that in what, 3 months? 4
Yeah, and this is not me reading a Kindle Unlimited book. This is like
Right.
I comb through it slowly, and I'm trying to make notes of, wait, what did she say here? And let me flip back and see. So this is slow going. So it's not a quick process. That's for
And
sure.
you work full
And
time.
fun fact, I've worked full time and had 2 kids.
Yeah.
So and I coach volleyball. So today was my last volleyball game. So yay. So it's slow process, but it's so fun.
It is fun. Like
I've
writing is fun.
done a bit of line editing, and I do love it. I love the. I just love. I don't know. I'm not being.
It's there's something fun about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another level. Yeah, it's just a.
Yeah.
It's another. You're in more in the author's head, and you're essentially like you're essentially Jennifer.
But
in
not.
a way, you've got to know how she thinks to be able to. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So you've got.
She also has to not be Jennifer because Jennifer's the one that made the mistakes, and so she's like,
well, yeah.
There's something really satisfying about being the baby sister who gets to go get rid of this comma, get rid of this sentence. There's a lot of catharsis in this from our childhood. But
we don't need that sentence again.
Good night, Karen. She just said good night, everyone.
Good night.
So that reminds me of one of the comments. I think was it you, Jen, that commented you had an older brother who knew it all and was always right. And I was like, yeah, that's older siblings for you. And so maybe you should work together so you can tell him who's boss, because yikes.
Sometimes that's younger siblings too, because I'm the oldest.
That's funny.
And I'm always right. No, not really. I'm just kidding.
Listen, for some reason, that oldest child, we do feel that way, but it's like, technically your whole life was an experiment because your parents didn't know what they were doing with you. So
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
The
baby.
Yeah.
Middle child.
18 years between me and the oldest.
Oh, wow.
9 years between me and the next youngest. So I think I was at
19?
9.
Oh, 9.
9. Yeah. So
that's a big gap. Ashley and I are practically
we had a daughter every 9 years.
Wow. That's funny.
Until
Ashley and I are
twin.
Wow, Ashley and I are 21 months apart, so we may as well be twins. And that's when she made that comment earlier. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay, well, everybody is freezing up and losing connections, apparently. But I will say that I am so grateful for all of you. Hopefully you can hear it. If not, you will see it in the recording, because I am so grateful for all of you that you were cheerleaders, and even when you were beta reading and saying, hey, you messed up here, or you were ARC reading and you were like, this is like, keep going, this is awesome, getting those text messages or the messages on Discord. I was just like, oh, like I needed that, because I was so scared to release this book. Not because I thought it was bad, I thought it was good, but because it's one of those things that people get really uptight about. Like, readers are scared of real life and emotion, and I was just like, and then I would hear, you can't call it a romance because it doesn't have the happily ever after everybody's expecting, and I was like, but it's fine, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yes, it is romance.
it was hard, but I'm so grateful that all of y'all stuck with me through it and got us to this point, and for hanging out all day today. Like, y'all are probably like, okay, it's time to be done with Jennifer for a minute. Welcome back.
You're
Hi.
also
My phone decided to restart itself, so that's fun.
Thanks for coming back.
you're also an inspiration to people, Jennifer.
Oh, well, thank you. That's also nice to hear. It's kind of scary as well, because that means I actually have to do things right. Or I could be the inspiration for don't do what she does. Got it. Either way, you're welcome. Oh, no, thank you. That's really sweet to hear, and very kind words. So I guess I also have to go feed my family. My kid literally just texted me and said, "What's for dinner?" And I was like, "Where's your dad?"
The glamour of being an author.
Yes, the lifestyle of the rich and famous is not mine. Anyway, so I am going to, I guess we're going to call it a night, and I will, if y'all want the recording to look at and hang out with later and to re-listen to, if you missed anything, I'll make sure that it's up on YouTube, and so we can go back and laugh at all the things once again. But again, thank y'all so much, and I hope this was as fun for y'all as it was for me, because I enjoyed every minute. Okay. Well, y'all have a fantastic night, and I will talk to all of you later.
Have a good night.
Y'all too, and a good morning.
And a good morning.
Yeah.
Bye.
My alarm wakes me up in 4 hours.
Go to sleep.
Yeah. Keep the rest. Sweet dreams.
We'll talk later, I promise.
Have a nice day.
You
Bye.
too.
Right. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. And then there were two, and once again, thank you, Ashley Andrews, for joining me on this fun adventure of being my book editor. And to all of you, I hope you'll have a fantastic evening. And thanks so much for making today awesome.